Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel, and in case you're wondering why I'm coming out of hibernation this time, it's because I was at Target the other day and something was calling out to me. You know, like the Green Goblin mask from Spider-Man. And as I turned the corner into the cars aisle, I realized why. We got the new 2026 cars. Now, well, the case was missing a lot of, well, not a lot, but some stuff, like I think Hydraulic Roamin wasn't there. He seems to be a rare one for whatever reason. I did find Chris Roamin, and you may not know this, but I believe I am the only question mark person, there's possibly others, to have every single version of this guy, because one of his versions was canceled, and there's only probably a couple of dozen of them out there. And another one was only available in a multi-pack, and I happen to have all of them, and this is the new 2026 Chinese release. So we get to take a look at this guy, we get to take a look at this guy, we get to take a look at this guy, and we get to take a look at this guy all in one video. But these guys will return later. First, let's take a look at this guy's packaging. 2026 packaging, it's the same damn packaging that we've all gotten so used to the past 4 or 5 years. I miss when the packaging changed every year or every 2 years, but we can't have that no more, kind of. I mean, yeah, it changes slightly, but whatever. But, I mean, Chris looks nice on the Red Riders card back. This is his first time being released as a single since 2018, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's been released since then, which is kind of crazy, except for a multi-pack, which we will get to. So his art looks nice. It looks very nice, because now it's a lot bigger on this card back, and, you know, he doesn't have to suffer from, you know, the crap that was the tiny artwork era of 2018. But anyway, card back. Pitiful. 2 cars, 3 cars on here. We got Speedy Comet and Chris Roamin, both of whom are already out. And Speedy Comet, you know, he doesn't look that great, so that's why I didn't pick him up. Plus, you know, I cannibalized the Vietnam version to make a custom, so whatever. But this guy, we are going to be taking a look at. So let's crack him open real quick and get to the meat and potatoes on the inside. Oh, I forgot to mention, the card back is glossy now. Yay. That was, honestly, good sense. So, now we've got Chris all opened up and out of his package. Well, Chris number 4, anyways. And I'm just going to be brief here. First impressions, he looks pretty good. He feels, kind of different, too. He feels, he's got less of that glossy coat going on to him. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm not really liking the way these decals feel, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, so, he's the new one. We'll put him over here. He's the old China one that got canceled along the way. He's the Thailand variant that replaced it, and he's the Vietnam variant. I believe I've looked at these guys all at the same time on the channel before. At least these two I have. I don't think I've looked at this guy in congruence with these guys. I might have, and I forgot. But whatever, let's get into the meat and potatoes. We'll start with their expressions. And by the way, we are going to crown a champion Chris by the end of this. I think I have my favorite picked out, but we will see. So, let's start with original China. He's got very vibrant colors for, first of all, we'll start with that. And his expression is your standard, you know, very typical next-gen expression. He's pissed, he's looking forward, he's got a frown, moving along. The same can be said for Thailand Chris, who has pretty much an identical expression, but muted colors in comparison. Then we've got Vietnam Chris, who is staring off into space and completely ignoring the race in front of him. This is my least favorite expression, also because he has thick eyeliner. You may not be able to tell because he has a dark blue, he has dark blue eyelids, but it is there, and it sucks. And Sino 2026 Chris, of whom I will refer to as Inkset version 2 occasionally, but we'll just call him Sino V2, I think. It's very easy to say. He's got a slightly different expression. He doesn't have the curvature in the eyebrows, like that, gap that the original one had. It kind of looks off-putting. It looks like something I'd make for a custom. Yeah, kind of a knock on myself there, but it is what it is. So, yeah, in terms of expression, I do actually like that Vietnam expression a lot. I know I said it was my least favorite, but I do like where he's looking. But my favorite is the new one looking off to the right a little bit? Huh, I think he is. But either way, my favorite is the original Sino because he has, like, these metallic blue eyelids because they're painted on. He's a unibody. Anyway, moving along to the sides here. Now, of course, since the original Sino was canceled, mine is unfortunately damaged on the left side here. Prototype syndrome, it is what it is. He's also damaged on the roof. But it is what it is. I'm still very happy to have this piece. His His rims are a vibrant shade of green with nice silver outlines. And he's got some very vibrant colors. His contingency decals are very clear and concise, as is typical with all Sino cars. He is the gold standard, at least so far. Moving along to Thailand 2018. His contingency sponsors are actually quite clear for being early Thailand. They're still kind of blurry in comparison. But, they're a good, solid effort. Actually, far better than what came later. The only problem is that his rims are just slightly less colorful. He's got that Thailand rim effect going on with the bubbles. And he's got the white rim trim instead of the chrome silver. Moving on to Vietnam. He has very similar rims to the Sino one. He's got the green rim trim and he's got the green rims and the silver rim trim. However, his colors are very muted to the point of looking like an olive drab green, and I'm not very a big fan of it. His contingency sponsors are, however, clearer than the Sino one. I think. You be the judge, everybody, but yeah, they're clearer. What the hell? Okay, sure. Vietnam might win the side battle just because of that. Anyway, new Sino. Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. I don't think that's my camera being problematic. Yeah, his decals are actually a bit blurry compared to even Thailand here. It's the thickness of them. Actually, no, it's better than Sino. Carbon Cyber's Thailand. Carbon Cyber's barely illegible on that one. He's got the same rims, however, and the same problems. Actually, it's far worse on him than it is on the Thailand version. Goodness gracious. Okay, side battle. Sino wins the rims. Vietnam wins the contingency decals. Everything else also goes to Sino V1. I should be clarifying. V1. This guy. The OG. Moving along to the back here. We've got the rookie stripes. We've got the bumper. We've got everything you could ever ask for. And these guys are off center. So you can't see them all. Crap. Anyways. Original Sino. Very vibrant. Very bright yellow rookie stripes. And a nice looking combustor logo. Thailand, yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's kind of got that blurry effect going on, but then you've got the yellow rookie stripes here, which are the same color, but they're just a little less nice looking, and the logo actually is in a better spot, I think. They're about the same, actually, but I don't know, there's just something about the logo placement on Thailand that looks better. Vietnam, moving along here, he's actually pretty good. Very clear, concise, he's got a bit of a error there, I think, because I haven't touched this guy at all. But yeah, pretty much the same across the board. Now, new Sino, is where things get a little different. The rookie stripes are now a bright yellow instead of the golden yellow, which is actually more accurate to real life NASCAR. I would have to do a deep dive and see if we see Chris's rookie stripes in the movie to see if that's more accurate. But actually, you know what? I'll give the back to this guy. It just looks a bit more clean back here. I can't explain why. So yeah, New China actually gets a win. Moving on to the right side. Say it with me, folks. It's the same as the left, so we don't got much to talk about here. So, yeah, that is the whole comparison. I remember which one's which. Okay, so you've got 4 Chris's here. And, well, each of them have something going for them. The new one is far more accessible, but it feels weird in the hand. The way they did the decals without putting over a clear coat makes them very bumpy. Like the side and the front square part of the decals, they feel very bumpy, as does... No, the spoiler's fine. But yeah, it just feels very bumpy without that extra layer of clear coat on it. He does look quite nice, though, and without the clear coat, the decals do come through a bit more clearly, which I appreciate. However, the side decals... Was my camera just screwing up? Because they look better now. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with this combustor logo. Is that like that on the other side? Yeah, what the hell is going on with this logo? Ugh. That's weird. It's like morphing. Is it like that in the movie? Does it morph with the squares in the movie? But anyways, moving along, yeah, I mean, I like this one, but it's like, it's got vibrant colors, so it has that advantage over Thailand, but Thailand has that nice glossy coat over everything, which make it feel very nice to the hand, very smooth to the touch. And these two are, you know, the most similar ones, so that's why I'm kind of just leaving the other two out of it for now. Yeah, you know what? The eye placement did change. I like that, actually. He's kind of looking off to the right now. He's like, really? We're doing this again? I'm changing factories again? I like that. So that's kind of funny how every release version of Chris has a slightly different expression. But if you wanted to know which one I preferred, it would be this guy, of course. I mean, he's special to me because he's in my cabinet of rarities and awesomeness. He's my only canceled car. The only other grail I have is a prototype Bobby Road Testa, but he wasn't canceled. And he's got the best colors to boot. Thailand did a good job bringing him to the masses, and it doesn't have a lot of the issues that a lot of the other later Thailand cars have. Like, his rims are, yeah, they're bubbly, but they're not that bad, the printing. And the decals are actually fairly clear. So he's pretty cool. Vietnam is kind of like the Sino one if you threw it in the wash and its colors became muted, like a tie-dye t-shirt over time. Especially the green and the dark blue. The light blue is fine, and the rims are fine too. It has its strong suits. The expression is quite nice if you take away the horrendous eyeshadow. And it's got, you know, the nice rims, but it's just not a very good variant overall. And the new one has the colors. It has vibrant colors again, which I appreciate. The clear coat is a little off-putting. Like the texture, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Just because, you know, I like my die-cast to be kind of clear. And I'm not the biggest fan of how this logo came out. Because if you look at the original, it's like very clean and concise. And the same would go for the Thailand one. So I don't know what the hell happened there. But yeah, I mean, it's got good attributes. But holy hell, the rims look like hot ass. And I apologize for swearing, but, like, Jesus, they really do. They really do just look garbage. It disappoints me that we're 8 years into Thailand / new sign-up production, and we still have this crap, but it's because of cost cutting, not because they're not trying. So we're going to be stuck with it. I may sound negative Nancy towards the new one, guys, but really, it is probably the second best to the original because of its colors and, I mean, if you can look past the texture problems and the rims, it's probably the best variant, especially with the rookie stripes. So, yeah, I'll close out my thoughts by prefacing my thoughts on where the line seems to be heading. I'm not the biggest fan of the new trend of cars here. We've got a lot of new variants coming out. Yay, great. But the new stuff, I'm not sure where it is. I know it's early, and there's not really, it's not really cause for concern yet. But if we get, like, I don't know, 3-4 cases in, and this is still the case, it might be time to sound the alarms. We might have another 2022 situation on our hands where the new stuff trickles out in the end of the year for some reason. But either way, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Sina switch. I don't understand why they would do it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't seem like it would be any cheaper to produce in China than it was in Thailand, even though they're now using the cheaper, inferior way of making cars. I cannot wrap my head around it, because it still seems like China would be the most expensive place to produce these, but it is what it is. Let me know which one's your favorite down in the comments below, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now!